This is one of my fellow home staters. This is Jamie Comer. That's what Trump calls him, Jamie, and that's Hunter Biden. And he goes, this is witness intimidation by the Biden team. This is because I think, I don't know, I haven't watched this, so I wonder if it is the lawsuit he filed against the IRS, in which case, so if that's the standard, then anybody who countersues, that's witness intimidation. Is that the idea? Is that what we're doing? Or maybe there's something else. We'll see.
Just like all TLs, typical liberals, Hunter...
Oh, well, she's not talking about me. I'm an atypical liberal. I'm extra special. Thank you very much. Laura Ingraham, if that is your real name.
Biden is now playing the victim card. It always comes down to that. Now,
doesn't it? Aren't you doing that right now?
Now, in a lawsuit he filed against the IRS, Biden is claiming that whistleblowers...
Hunter Biden. You can't just say Biden because there's President Biden. He's the big Biden.
...targeted and sought to embarrass him. No, Hunter, I think you did that all by yourself with the...
No, he didn't release his own fucking private emails, his own private pictures, any of that shit.
Coke and the prostitutes.
Yeah, but that was done privately. Why would that be embarrassing if nobody found out about it? So Trump's responsible for embarrassing himself because of his affair with Stormy Daniels. So the mushroom dick stuff is all on him. The toadstool penis references and the tiny hands and the fucking scared of sharks and the premature ejaculation, that's on him. That's what he meant to embarrass himself like that? Okay.
Now, the guy who gets hundreds of thousands of dollars from anonymous buyers for his blow art wants $1,000 in damages for each and every unauthorized...
I think blow art is supposed to be a reference to... Didn't he smoke crack? I think it's quite different.
...disclosure of his tax returns. Joining me now, Chairman of the House Oversight Committee, James Comer. Congressman, good to see you tonight. Now, Hunter's attorneys are saying that the whistleblowers do not have the traditional immunity from civil suit because of their supposed wrongful conduct against him. Your response?
Well, that's simply not true. The whistleblowers have protected whistleblower protection.
Really? Is that what it's called? Whistleblower? Yeah, only within the organization, not from outside. If let's just say somebody in the organization thinks that they should be able to post nudes they found on government servers of their ex-girlfriend, and their supervisor says, no, there's no crime there, and they go, I think there's a crime there, therefore I want to complain. You can complain about what the supervisor said. That doesn't mean you get to show the nudes. It's not your job to go and try someone in the court if your supervisor says, no, you can blow the whistle on that person, but then it's up to the courts to follow through with that, or I guess the committees or whatever to not overstep that bound while you're still an innocent person.
Democrats in Congress used to care about that. They used to file bills and pass bills to protect whistleblowers and encourage whistleblowers to come forward. That's exactly what the two brave whistleblowers did who testified before my House Oversight Committee. But what we're seeing now...
No. Actually, part of their problem is the fact that you didn't do it behind closed doors, and you entered into the record documents that were unnecessary to their complaint. Because again, a whistleblower is not the person who's a witness to the crime. A whistleblower in this case is an investigator who doesn't believe that their supervisor is adequately going after this crime. That is a set of details that has nothing to do with the crime itself, because the person who is alleged to have committed the crime in this is innocent until proven guilty. So you don't get to flood fucking evidence. If a cop doesn't think the DA is going far enough because there's a there's a criminal on the loose and they think they have enough evidence, but the evidence that they have, they got through an illegal search or something else, they don't get to just release that into the public and as police officers without getting in fucking trouble. And by the way, you don't want to live in a system where you can do that.
Now, in real life form, is witness intimidation by the Biden legal team.
Nope. What did they witness? What did they witness? They believe that Weiss said, and there's dispute about the meeting, that he had the right or didn't have the right to actually bring charges. That's inter-office bullshit. It has nothing to do with Hunter Biden. It has nothing to do with anyone that charge would be about. It has to do with the inter-office politics, and that's what the whistleblower part of it is. Did they witness a crime? No. Did they witness Hunter Biden's crime? No. If they found out stuff and they were like, I believe this is money laundering, that doesn't mean it's money laundering. Whatever they believe, it's what they can prove. And if any investigator or police officer or anybody could just attack people with whatever evidence that they have and throw it onto the fucking floor in front of reporters or something like that, anytime they were trying to shake a story loose, no one would be safe. There's a reason why we have these checks and balances. And again, if you're a whistleblower about the fact that your supervisor was holding back on something, you can talk about something without mentioning the details of it because A, not only are you incriminating someone, they don't have the right to respond to it. You're basically intentionally leaking stuff about a defendant before they're even a defendant, which is really fucked up if you think about it. But even beyond that, you can talk about what your supervisor said or believed without ever bringing up those details. They didn't, though. They used this and these guys as an excuse to dump bullshit about the fucking fake laptop. Both of these dickheads, the reason they were taken off the case was because that they wanted to incorporate details from the Rudy Giuliani laptop hard drive that was floating around, which has no chain of evidence, is completely devoid of verification, and if anybody brought it into a courtroom, it'd be thrown out. So if they tied that stuff to the stuff they were bringing in these other cases, their supervisor knew their case would get thrown out, even if the evidence was real, even if they'd come at it by normal means. If the judge said, you only know about this incriminating email because you read about it on this thing, which is not verifiable and is a piece of acquired, purchased disinfo. If 20% of it is true and 80% of it is false and you can't tell which is which, you can't choose shit from that and then use it to go on a hunting expedition for anybody else's stuff. That's not how it works. Therefore, it's all out. And there would be no gun charge. There would be even the tax charges would have been thrown out.
They want to send a message to any other potential whistleblowers out there
that if you worked for Burisma, I suppose you could be a whistleblower. If you work for the fucking IRS, go bitch about your boss, but not about the case that you believe should be taken to court or whatever because you're going to screw the entire, honest to God. Hunter Biden is going to make the argument that these guys have prejudiced the jury. All the shit that Trump's trying to do by blathering about the case in public, he's going to complain. He's going and rightly so. And by the way, thanks for Carl Frisch. Oh, yes. Join me. I'm going to be doing a fundraiser for Carl Frisch this weekend on the 23rd. In DC. Also subscribe, Patreon, all that stuff. But you honestly have to recognize it. You have to recognize that this guy, if these two guys were not whistleblowers, these two guys are effectively trying to be open leakers about stuff or manipulative liars, I would say, because the stuff that because selectively leaking stuff can be a form of lies, even though you can't leak a lie. If you come out and go this detail and this detail and you leave out 10 other details on purpose, that's effectively lying. You're just lying. So, and the idea that they can pick and choose by the Republicans asking them certain questions and all that, and that most of what they talked about, by the way, was after Biden was in office and there was no influence to fucking peddle at all, is immaterial to the whole thing.
Do not cooperate with the House Oversight Committee. Do not cooperate with this investigation or we will sue you and see that you're liable and have to pay out your entire life savings for simply telling the truth.
No. Simply telling the truth isn't the problem. They didn't simply tell the truth. These motherfuckers could write a book. But if you work in the IRS, you do not have the right to show anybody's IRS return, your tax returns, without their permission to strangers because you feel like it. No matter who they are. Especially if they haven't been tried and found guilty in a court of law.
Congressman, also on a separate note, Abby Lowell, one of Hunter Biden's attorneys, is out there claiming that you're being dishonest.
Geez, when he says that we've got the smoking gun and a lot of evidence?
In one of your requests about this February issue of Hunter's bank records, which you claim that they never responded to. But he is saying that Hunter's legal team did respond the next day, saying, in part, I would offer to sit with you and your staff to see whether Mr. Biden has information that may inform some legitimate legislative purpose and be helpful to the committee, but you never responded to that offer. So what's the real story here, Congressman?
The real story is we asked for bank records, and he wanted to come in and offered to patronize and waste taxpayer dollars by tying up legal fees, wondering why he couldn't understand.
Tying up legal fees?
And why we were requesting him. He wanted to know the legislative intent.
Right. Yeah, you don't have oversight over Hunter Biden. You don't even have oversight over the administration in that regard. If you have awareness of a crime, that's one thing, but you're not the financial oversight of somebody, like how they made money outside of office is none of your fucking business unless it's criminal specifically.
When everyone in America knows that the Biden family's taken in over $20 million.
No, the Biden family has not taken it. Biden family and associates, including Devin Archer, who took in the largest chunk of that money, and other people from Rosemont Seneca.
From foreign oligarchs, and they can't say a single thing they did to earn this money. So if Joe Biden wants to do what he said he would do when he was running for president and be the most transparent president in the history of America.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean giving out your fucking PIN number to a bunch of fucking robbers.
He can comply with our simple request. If he...
Well, then if it's a simple request, that's the interesting thing. The problem is it's not a simple request. When you ask for the president or the children of the president's private banking information, is that now a standard that they could just ask for it whenever they want? That's kind of fucked up. Nobody would run for office in that way unless they knew that they also had the house on a short leash.
If he's innocent, then he'll make us look bad. But instead of complying.
First of all, this is that same analogy I use when somebody's like suing someone for libeling them, slut shaming them essentially in public and in the press. And then they go, let me see your phone and your emails and your WhatsApp conversations and all that kind of stuff so that you can prove you're not a slut. That's the argument here. The essential position of Comer is, I called you a slut. I don't have any proof you're a slut. You're just not, you seem to be sleeping with everybody but me, but it can't be because I suck. It's got to be because you'll fucking sleep with anybody except me because you don't know what a good man is. Therefore, you're a slut. And then you call somebody that and they sue you for it and you're like, prove you're not a slut. That's it. And it's, as analogies go, I think this is pretty rock solid, but it is a guilty until proven innocent thing. Prove you're not. Prove you're not criminal.
With our request and being transparent with his personal finances, he set up a war room in the White House. He's suing whistleblowers who have bravely.
These are two people. No. Joe Biden is not suing anyone. Hunter Biden is as a private citizen. Joe Biden has a war room to deal with this, as all presidents do when they're faced with any kind of political scandal or some sort of ratcheted up bullshit. As a matter of fact, Bill Clinton should have set it up. Bill Clinton should have set up a war room to deal with these motherfuckers once they started going after Whitewater.
They come forward to tell the truth about how their credible investigation was obstructed, and they continue to do everything in their power to obstruct this investigation.
Explain to me why it's not just a fishing expedition. Why does anybody, according to James Comer, any private citizen, have the right to privacy from the federal government? Because this is, Clinton did have a war room. He just did it too late. He started way late. He should have done it from day one, but and it should have had them battening down the hatches around him. The point is like, this motherfucker's like, well, look, just show me any nudes you have on your phone and I'll decide whether or not you're a slut and whether you, let me look at who you sent them to. That's what Comer wants.
Well, meanwhile, we have, it looks like Hakeem Jeffries is saying that there's a civil war, Congressman, brewing over the impeachment question. Check this out.
There are no facts on the record to suggest that President Biden engaged in impeachable offenses. This is an illegitimate impeachment inquiry. It's a product of the House Republican Civil War.
Civil War? Quick.
Jeez, okay, first of all, stop pearl clutching. The Republicans are talking about actual fucking civil war all the time.
Quickly, Congressman, your reaction.
Well, there's no civil war. We're having a lot
An incivil discussion.
of challenging discussions about how to fund the government moving forward. But with respect to the impeachment inquiry, there's overwhelming support in the House of Representatives.
Overwhelming support. No, there isn't. There's literally underwhelming support. No Democrats and not all Republicans. That's underwhelming. Overwhelming would be, fuck, half the Democrats in the 80% of people are for it. Therefore, 80% of the House and 80% of the Senate. Oh, we got to move up on it. There's so much evidence.
Among the Republican conference to conduct this investigation.
Hold on. Did he just go, there's overwhelming in the Republican conference?
In the House of Representatives, among the Republican conference.
Oh, Jesus. It's overwhelming amongst, so it's 60-40, or 70-30. So they don't have the votes, is what he's saying. Let me translate that for you. They don't have the votes to actually get an impeachment rolling, even if they have, with these inquiries, something.
To conduct this investigation, we've proven mountains of evidence.
No, you haven't.
That this family has broken many laws and that Joe
No, you haven't. You have not. You have literally not.
Biden was front and center in
No, you haven't. None of those statements are true.
These schemes. And there's also support in the Senate. Jim Jordan and I spoke to the senators at their weekly luncheon last week, and a majority of the senators were excited and encouraging about our investigation.
No, a majority of the 20 that sat with you motherfuckers, the 30 senators that didn't show up, were giving you the middle finger. And not all of the 20 that showed up were on board for this. Dude, you got 8 of these dumbasses that support this bullshit.
Well, Mitch McConnell cares about Ukraine. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you.
Fuck off. What a monster.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Just going to give it up for Laura Ingraham. And don't I look like a thumb in a suit? But anyways, yeah, give it up for Laura Ingraham supporting the Russian Nazis and their rape squads and all that kind of stuff, showing the Ukrainians don't have a right to exist. Thanks so much for that. It was good stuff. I have to say, good show tonight. It was fun. I enjoyed myself. I hope you enjoyed yourself. It was nice to see Fekas dropping by, having a conversation with him. Notice I had to clutch my shoulder a lot less. Or at least I think so. Lying is okay in America unless you're under oath. It was kind of important detail. And by the way, chat room, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everything you guys do to support the show and just being here. It means so much. And not just when I'm, teary-eyed in front of you guys. So thank you so much. And I will say, we posted the link already in the let's see, where is that shit? Put it up here. This guy. Where is it? Oh well, we posted in the links below, or in the description below. There is a link to the memo about Biden's trip, where he went and got Shokin fired before he goes, instructing him that these are the talking points. This is what the administration wants to do. This is what the administration is planning on doing, and we need Shokin out of there. And that's exactly what he did. It's exactly why he bragged when he came back, and it's exactly why you guys know it. And you're fucking awesome. I'm just saying, you're fucking awesome. And so, thanks for posting the link. Beg your pardon. Hold on one second. Thanks for posting the link, guys, to the Carl Frisch fundraiser this weekend. I will be doing stand-up on his behalf. It will be interesting to shift gears. I will be, in some ways, I guess it's a good place to show off some of the jokes I'm going to be doing at Sexy Liberal, but then I always end up writing new stuff anyways. So regardless, love you guys. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. And I will see you tomorrow. I'm getting better. Day by fucking day. I'm getting so nice to not... I I got a full 4 hours of sleep last night, uninterrupted, insofar as I know. Because when you're really tossing and turning, do you really know if you're not sleeping? Because I think it was the immortal words of Socrates who said, I drank what?